Stand der Mioty Alliance hier auf der Embedded in Nürnberg 2022. Ich habe den Markus Drexler von Diehl hier. Hi Markus.
Hi. Hi. Freue mich hier zu sein.
Wir haben natürlich einiges von Diehl gehört. Sag doch mal einfach ein bisschen, was du bei Diehl machst, welchen Bereich du verantwortest und was du bekleidest.
Gerne. Ich bin jetzt seit 2014 bei Diehl, bin verantwortlich für das regionale Produktmanagement in den Märkten Deutschland, Österreich, Schweiz, Skandinavien, Osteuropa und Zentralasien und verantworte dann mit meinem Team eigentlich alles vom Sensor, von unseren smarten Wasserzählern über unsere Gateways bis zu unseren Software- und Service-Versionen.
Okay, wir sind ja international unterwegs, deshalb switchen wir jetzt auch auf Englisch. Machen wir einfach noch mal ganz kurz einen Abriss von was du so machst. Okay, Markus, maybe you just give us a little bit insight about what you do, what your responsibilities are within the Diehl Group.
Yeah, so I've been joining Diehl Metering around about 2014, and I'm heading now the regional product management department, sitting in Ansbach. And with my team, we are responsible for the markets Germany, Switzerland, Austria, Nordics, Eastern Europe, and Central Asia. And yeah, with my colleagues together, I'm responsible for all our products, from, I would say, the sensors, smart meters, or our gateways, towards the systems and services.
Very well, so you are a busy man. So I had Christoph here yesterday, and we heard a lot about metering, we heard a lot about data, how data can really even change the lifestyle and behavior. So first question from my side, why is network monitoring a challenge if it comes to utilities?
Yeah, I mean, as you know, our major customers are water and energy utilities and suppliers, and I mean, from our day-to-day lives, we of course know that they deal with measuring consumption and sending us once per year, for example, a bill. But it's only a part of the problems that they deal with. And one of the major problems is, of course, nowadays to use water resources efficiently and to operate the network also in an efficient way. So and that's why water network monitoring has become very important for them. And in this respect, one major challenge is really the topic of water losses. So the difference between the water put into the water network, distributed, and the water consumed by the households. So this is called non-revenue water, and there's really, especially in developing countries, a huge gap. So the utilities lose money, and they don't operate the network efficiently. So this has become really a big problem.
Well, you say no revenue water, so that means the water is wasted, and we actually kiss by wasting the water this precious element goodbye, and both sides are suffering. The ones who really put the effort in to make it available, and of course the others who try to get the water. Wow, that's a very, very big contribution to sustainability. So can you also give me a little insight about the dimension of the network monitoring, and maybe on a global dimension in regards of the figures?
So there are some statistics from, for example, the World Bank saying that water losses sum up to 68 billion US dollars. So it's really a huge sum, 68 billion US dollar annually on water losses. When we look to our markets, we see that, for example, in Germany between 8 and 10% of water is lost, and you can see these dimensions in Germany. In France, it's up to 20%. If you look then to developing countries, it goes maybe to 50-60% of water that is lost between production and consumption. And it's really a lot of money, of course, but also a lot of precious resources, scarce resources, water in some countries that get lost. And that's why really the utilities want to tackle that problem and need solutions for that.
Well, so we have a double effect from both sides. So we have countries which don't have a really modern or developed water system, and we have existing ones which basically age, and due to the aging, they're getting worse and worse, and that of course adds up to the percentages. For me, it's hard to believe that we have losses up to 20% in the heart of Europe. Goes beyond my imagination. So how do your solutions help the end customers, the communities, and in the very end the countries to counteract to this effect?
I mean, first of all, of course, everything starts with measuring. Yeah? So when you look how the utilities are reading the meters today, it's in Germany, I mean, you know it maybe as well, you get the postcard once per year, you type in your meter reading. So there's a lot of errors in the meter reading. So how should the utility really monitor the network? There's no chance. So that's why we really start with the sensor. And as you know, we have been starting developing radio sensors and meters now more than, I think, 25 years ago. So the route to IoT goes back really a long time, also in Diehl Metering's history. And so this is really the start point, I would say, the smart meter, the Hydros tool, for example, that we have on metering that measures accurately and efficiently the water, and is also able to transmit that information to the network very often. So that means that the utility can have in their solutions, in their water monitoring systems, for example, hourly values, not only once per year a reading, where there's no chance of monitoring, but really hourly values. And this is really our credo to say, to collect a lot of data and use this data. So this is also an issue because they may be collected, but they don't use it. So they collect it and they also use it then in the systems.
I mean, also over here, I mean, this is your home turf, you do this since decades, and of course, I know the papers where you have to fill in your consumption and so on, but I also know of course the emerging new technology. So of part of the years we reside in Denmark. So one day I got a letter from my community supplier, and a friendly Dane came in and he put all this remote monitoring and data collection in, and of course ran me through how I can check on my consumption and so on. And of course, what Christoph described yesterday, yes, it has an impact on your behavior. Now you really know and you really figure out and say like, hey, why did I use so much energy? I wasn't even there. And that's very important. So we know that cities metering, you resides inside the city. You have a lot of barriers, which are walls, a lot of interference. It's not the most friendly environment for a radio system. Why did you choose mioty?
Yeah, I think we have, of course, experience with different radio technologies, and we have also inside our meters different radio technologies, but we really believe that mioty is really the technology of choice when it comes to smart metering, and it gives us really a lot of advantages. The first thing when it comes to monitoring is, of course, the topic of availability of data, of different data. When you look to different LP1 technologies inside a meter, you would maybe only transmit a meter index that is relevant for billing. When we use the mioty technology, we can transport more information. We can transport flows that are relevant for leakage detection. We can transport alarms. We can transport even water temperatures, which helps utilities to look into the topic of water quality as well. So this is, I would say, the first big advantage of mioty that allows us to transport a lot of data. The second topic is the topic of data timeliness. So, I mean, I mentioned the topic of hourly values. When you look into network monitoring, you have to really collect data very frequently and have them in the system really near live. So one big advantage of the mioty technology is also that we can have the system, for example, every hour already in the system, so the utility can already analyze them and don't need to wait 24 hours to receive data that is then already maybe 23 hours old. So this is a big advantage. And then when it comes to bigger systems, of course, the pattern of mioty, the topic of telegram splitting helps us really a lot. We see more and more IoT sensors leading to collisions. And if we lose, of course, data on the way from the sensor to the network and to the system, they cannot be analyzed. So that's why the mioty technology helps us as well. And maybe lastly, the topic of energy efficiency. So we have been a lot, our development guys have been dealing a lot with the topic of energy efficiency. Imagine a water meter is, for example, installed for 15 years in the water network with one battery. So, and transmitting every certain seconds information. So it's really important that this meter can operate very energy efficiently, and also in terms of sustainability. And there also the mioty technology helps us to send out information from the meter very efficiently.
So here we are back to sustainability. Of course, you want to put your meter in and you want to have it there without maintenance as long as possible. So what you described sounds like common practice. You don't really have to think, but for the end user, for the utility owners, for the community principals, this is of course not daily work. I mean, you provide a solution. mioty is the way to really have a robust, really reliable source of data and transmission. But what are you doing with all this data? I mean, you provide all this. You provide the technology, the hardware, the endpoints, the transmission. You collect the data. But what comes after that? I mean, how can your service solution empower the utility owners to monitor the networks? Do you also help them?
Yeah, we do actually as well. I mean, this was, we've been talking with a lot of customers. As I said, they collected in the past a lot of data, but didn't have really use of it. So we looked into the topic of what can we do on the service and software side as well, and we developed a solution that is called Eyesight Smart Water. That really deals in a nutshell with the topic of water loss management. So the utilities inside the system can first of all collect the meter data. They can section their water network in certain district metered areas, and then they can really have a close look to these district metered areas. What happens there? How does the sector behave? Is the leakage increasing or decreasing? To really in the end also prioritize action. And our philosophy is also to make that very simple. We know that the users in the utility are maybe not that experienced with the topic yet. So it's very important also to visualize the information in a simple way. We use a lot of colors, for example, in these different areas in the network. For example, a red color to say, okay, in this area something has really gone worse. So you really need to look into that area and check, maybe to find really the leakage. Maybe in the end really dig a hole and repair the leakage. So you can see it like an X-ray maybe to the water network that checks on a daily basis the improvement of the water network. So it's really getting more and more important for the utilities to use this data, to visualize them, and then also to take actions, of course, to not lose water.
Well, it's perfect. So basically you switch the light on in the darkness of the data, and with you can really prioritize, so to say, where in your kilometers and kilometers long infrastructure of water, where the need is the most and the pain is the highest. So that means pain in our communication means always water we kiss goodbye with no revenue and of course no use. Wow. Well, I would say this is a 360 coverage for the communities they can enjoy. Congratulations for this solution. Awesome. So I didn't know that. So every time I have somebody from Diehl with me, I always learn something new. You guys are not only huge, but you are also bringing big time solutions. So at the finish, at the end of our conversation, and thank you for being here, taking the time, anything else you want to add? Something, word of advice, food for thought, also a wish?
Yeah, I think we would really invite interest to really experience that topic with us together. Maybe to start really a deployment end-to-end from a mioty sensor over our new IoT gateways that also allow to cover different radio technologies like LoRaWAN, like wireless MRS, like mioty, and then also deploy the software and really experience also our services, our support, our consulting, how to prioritize. So we're really more than happy to contact the Diehl Metering colleagues, to contact me, my colleagues, and really to start to experience the beauty of these technology solutions. To help us all in the end to live in a better world, I would say. I think this is really our goal to contribute as Diehl Metering and also as a member of the mioty Alliance to this sustainability of the world. So it's really, I would say, I get goosebumps saying this. I think it's really cool to be part of this journey with our customers together.
So that's really good, and of course good for the communities to see that you're welcoming them with open arms. So they are all covered, and the return on rest or the payback actually already starts when they pick up the phone and call you guys. Well, thank you so much. I'm pretty sure the communities, they will appreciate it. And again, don't think about how you solve your water problems and all the huge amount of waters which just simply go back to the ground. There are people out there who need it. We'll help them to manage the problems and get a better infrastructure in regards of water, and not only that. Markus, it was a blast. I learned a lot. Thank you so much. And I hope you will come back with some more news next time. And I already said to Christoph, you got to be ready because Max and myself, we will now start to visit the members. Also Hermann is already warned and alarmed. And we will swing by and we will make just out of the pocket interview. How's that? Would you like that?
It's fine. Fine for us. Yeah. More than welcome.
All right, thank you. So have a great day. Best of luck for your solution. And well, thank you again.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Thank you.